Let me show you how I move from this to this in 10 to 15 minutes every single day. Now, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes because it depends on how pressed on time I really am. If I wake up a little bit late, or maybe I started doing things I'm not supposed to be doing in the morning, and then I realize, ooh, I'm gonna be late, so let me do my makeup, it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes. My main goal and purpose of wearing makeup is to cover up my marks, just to have an even skin tone so that I feel confident because of how I look. I don't like it when people start asking questions about my skin. I have a whole history with this, okay? And yeah, so I try my level best to just cover it up so that I go through my day as confident as I possibly can be. And yeah, hopefully you'll learn something, pick up some tips here and there, and implement it or incorporate it into your makeup routine. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, so the first thing I do is skin prep. I can never say this enough. Your makeup will never look as good as you want it to look. It will never stay on as long as you want it to stay on until you get your skincare right. I've been struggling with my skin, that's for sure, but I finally found a way to keep my skin looking good, even with all these marks and hyperpigmentations and pimples that come through every single month that I cannot control. First thing you want to do is cleanse your skin properly, rehydrate your skin, put on a moisturizer, and then on top of that, don't forget your SPF, because that's the most important one. Once you're done with that part, which is what I basically did do to my skin, we're gonna go in with this Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Mattifying Primer. This is the primer that I have right now. Does it really work? Not really. I don't think it's actually done what I wanted to do for me, especially because I have really oily skin. I'm not too sure if maybe I am not applying enough or I'm applying too much. I've just been trying to figure out how this primer really works, but it doesn't even give you like an instant mattifying feeling. What it does maybe is blur out the pores a little bit, but we don't know about that. My entire face is oily, so there's no parts that are not oily, that don't oil up during the day. Literally my entire face is oily. So when they speak of oily skin, they are talking about me. I'm that girl. On top of this, I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Lasting Fix. So this is just to help with the setting. Okay, get this nice and dry. Now that that's done, I'm going to go in with my Yardley Loose Powder in the shade Translucent Buff. With my makeup puff, I would just dab onto this part. So not on the powder itself, but the residue that is left on the cap. That's what I normally use. And then I'll just set this area, because it does get really oily. My entire face actually gets oily. Okay, and then we're gonna go in with the setting spray again. Just like that. Next, I go in with my foundation, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me. There's a lot of Maybelline going on here, but it's the most affordable foundation or the most affordable makeup that you could get. That's also really good. So I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me, and this is in the shade, what shade is this? 340. I'm not too sure what 340 is, but it's the shade 340. This is not my regular shade. This is a little bit more on the ashy side. I think the undertone is wrong, but I still make it work. The shade I normally use is 342. So when I purchased this one is because I couldn't find the one I was looking for. So you want to use a flat brush like this one to stipple on your foundation. This helps a lot with full coverage if that's what you're looking for. And that's what I'm looking for. I always want to go for full coverage. So I like to move the foundation around like this, especially on the affected areas, or the areas where there's a whole lot of spots. And then I'm going to leave it there for a while I work on the other side. After leaving it for a while, we're gonna then start blending the edges out. So you wanna go around the edges and make sure that they are well blended. Okay, so I'm going to push in the foundation that's now left here. Pushing it in because I need to make sure that it's not just product laying on the top of my skin, that it actually does melt in properly. And then if I do need to go back, which I probably will have to go back to cover the spots, I will do that on face, or rather on a surface that is not too thick or too cakey. Okay, so once it's like this, it's ready for second application. So the second application is mainly going to be on the dark spots. There's so many different ways of doing this, but remember, this is my everyday makeup. I don't want to go too much into the process and the steps of applying. So if you do not have any skin imperfections at all, this one layer is more than enough for your foundation phase for this. So you can skip the second part. You only do this only if you feel like there's still something I need to cover. And sometimes it's not even with the full foundation brush like this. Sometimes you just need maybe a smaller brush just so that you can apply the foundation exactly on the dots that you can see, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna do that especially for this spot. So this is actually dry, dead skin. It's just that it's not ready to be lifted yet, so I'm not gonna temper with it, but I will try to cover it up a little bit more so that it doesn't, it doesn't take away from the whole makeup look, if that makes any sense. With the axis, you basically are just brushing your nose like this. You're not necessarily applying anything on it. It's just what's left on your brush. So you're just gonna grab just a little bit of product and focus on that spot and every other spot that you probably can see. I'm literally taking my 10-minute makeup routine and I'm breaking it down to, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or something like that. But I hope that this is really helpful for you so far. Okay, so I think that's enough for the first layer of foundation. So I'm gonna go in with the spray now, again. And just allow it to set in or settle in a little bit more. Okay, this feels good. Let me stop. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a darker foundation shade. This is 360 by Maybelline Fit Me. This is just to add a little bit of dimension to the face because you don't just want like a flat face. Foundation is like creating a canvas for yourself. So what you do from there, how you build it up from there is up to you. But it's literally one-dimensional. You just have one flat face. So adding a contour or a darker shade to the areas where you need to like contour your face, it kind of elevates your makeup look a little bit. So going in with another flat brush, but this one is a little bit angled and dense, I'm going to apply or spread out the darker foundation shade like this. It doesn't necessarily have to be too dark. It doesn't have to be too dark, just a little bit darker. That helps. And I like to also go on the corner of my eyelids like this. That kind of helps with the lifting a little bit, and it's not too much, you know. I don't necessarily contour my nose every day. I don't do that. Going in with a concealer, like a little bit. You don't do too much. Not too much, because all you want to do is brighten your under eyes. So I am mixing my old LA Girl concealers. I have Warm Honey and Creamy Beige. And I'm just going to use the brush that I used, the dense brush that I used for foundation or the spot correcting. And I'm going to use that to highlight my under eye. And then you're going to take your foundation brush and you're just going to break any harsh lines that you might see by blending a little bit. You don't do too much. We don't do too much around here. We don't do too much. We just want to make sure everything is cohesive. One more spray for the dark shade and concealer. Going in with the powder, we are going to set our foundation. Once I'm done applying the powder all over my face, I take a fluffy brush like this one over here, and I would dust it. Like I'll dust all of the powder that might be left on my skin. I'll just go over it with this brush. So next I'm going to go in with my Yardley Stay Fast pressed powder. This is the shade Walnut, and I am going to just accentuate the contour part with the powder. Just to make it look pop a little bit more, make it look a little bit darker. Okay, so my face is done. We're gonna move on to the eyebrows. So for eyebrows, I use an old mascara. If you have an old mascara laying around your, I don't know what, your room, your makeup bag or something, it's time for you to make use of it. So I would start by brushing up the hair. Today, all of a sudden, it has a lot of product on it, but we'll come back. And then with whatever's left on here, I would focus solely on the outer corners of my lashes. I don't apply the mascara all over my lashes. I just apply on the outer corner just to lift them up a little bit, like so. Okay, so now that I've brushed up my eyebrows, I'm gonna start by drawing a line. This is a guideline anyway of how far I want, or where I want to start my eyebrows and where I want to end them. So I would also go up here as well, just to kind of outline my eyebrows. And then I definitely start with the end of my brows before I move to the front, or should I say the tail. I'll start with it like that and then move to the other side and try to mimic what I did on that side and hope for the best. Yeah, really just hoping for the best here. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the front. If you need to sharpen your pencil, which you probably do, you can do that just to get a little bit of a sharper end, or tip rather, when filling in the front, because you kind of want to get it to be as hair-like as possible. And you also don't want to do too much. We never want to do too much. Okay, I feel like they're not giving what I want them to, especially this part. Do people still do their eyebrows like this? I'm just curious. Do people still do their eyebrows like this? Or do we have a new trend? Haven't been on the internet in a while. You can always go back in with your mascara just to brush out the hair like that. This is nice. I like these. Finally, we're gonna go in with the setting spray again. This time around, we are saturating the face because this is the end of my makeup routine. Okay, so once I'm done, I go in with my lip therapy. You can go in with your gloss, whatever it is that lasts on your lips, makes your lips look nice and juicy. Okay, so there you have it. This is my realistic, simple, and very basic everyday makeup routine. This is literally how I would look when I go to work. My colleagues can confirm that if they ever get to watch this. But this is literally how I look every time I go to work. And it does really take me about 10 to 15 minutes to get this makeup look done. I had to break it down to y'all because I was talking a lot. But yeah. It really does take about 10 to 15 minutes to get this makeup look done, especially because I do it every single day. I know what to cover, when to cover, how to cover it. So I just wanted to break it down for you so that if you do want to implement this or incorporate this into your makeup routine, you can do so with a little bit of understanding why I am doing it. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please give it a thumbs up. Share this with someone who might find it helpful. And of course, if you've enjoyed watching me on your screen, that was so fake. But no, on the real though, if you did enjoy this video, please do click onto the subscribe button, become part of the family. It's going to be a glorious, glorious year this year, so I don't want you to miss out on anything. And of course, if you want me to help you with anything, or you have any form of question that you feel I can create a video on, please leave it in the comment section down below, and I will be doing that for you guys. With that said, I want to wish you guys love, joy, peace, happiness, and greatness, of course, but most importantly, blessings directly from above onto you and yours. Till we meet again in the next video, of course. Goodbye. What's up, beautiful people? I figured I should pop in and give you guys like a little update. Yeah, an update of how the makeup held up the whole day. So this is what it looks like. I don't know if y'all can see, but this is why I do my makeup the way I do it, from 10 to 15 minutes every single day, because I do look like this every day, okay? So it's very minimal, like I said, and like you already saw, it's very minimal. And but it does exactly what it needs to do. It targets the areas that I needed to target. So I have my marks covered up. The scarring that I also have is a little bit blurred out because of the I'm pretty sure it's because of the foundation, as well as the, what do we call it, the primer. I think so, I'm not too sure. But my skin really loves this, even though it does get oily, because I have really oily skin. It does get oily over, during the day,
but we still looking good. We still looking good, and I'm super excited. I'm really happy about this. So I wanted to show you guys how the makeup holds up, and this is how I looked the whole day. I felt confident in this. I always feel confident when I am like this, because I just feel like I can step into any room and not feel self-conscious or be insecure about my skin, because without makeup I am insecure. I'm not gonna start lying and say I'm a healed hand or anything like that, because it's still a journey for me. Some days I do go to work without makeup, but on those days I feel a little bit, you know, insecure, and I feel like I could just crawl up into a little ball. But yeah, so I don't function really well, and I also can't lead really well when I'm feeling a little bit, not under the weather, but a bit discouraged or a bit uncomfortable in my own skin. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Oh, I wanted to show you my face. I wanted to show you what I look like, and yeah, just so that you guys can be the judge of my face. And my arm is getting really tired. That's that. I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.